So as you were growing up in Arizona, playing sports, playing football, you've talked about this. How many people tried to convince you that you should be a running back or a wide receiver?
A lot, a whole lot. And I truly believe it's just because you're fast and you're big. So when I remember you can ask Lebrado and Jet. When I used to walk around here my very first year, I used to get so mad at people. And I never told them, I'd always be happy and stuff. But to LB and Jet, I'd be so mad. I'd be walking around campus, just going along, and they'd be like, what position do you play? And I'd be like, quarterback. And then they'd know, oh, I thought you were a receiver. And, okay, well, all right, man. I get so mad. It's the biggest pet peeve of mine. When you're tall, black, and fast, everybody thinks you should be a receiver. There's a lot of us. So.
Andrew Luck's pretty fast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's got your frame, but people look at him and say, yeah, he's a quarterback.
Yeah, but you see me and we stand side by side and it'll be like, oh, he's a receiver. He has to be a quarterback. And, you must throw him the ball.
You talk much to your dad about that growing up?
Yeah, a whole lot. I just feel like there was a lot of that going on. But that's sort of the things that people don't realize what you have to push through as a quarterback. And even talking to some of the recruits, Devin Fuller and Asante coming in, I told him, there's a lot of things that more than what you would normally have to push through. As far as, for us, you do a couple bad things at quarterback, and it's like, all right, we'll take your butt to receiver, and, let's keep pushing from there. So there's some things that you just got to make sure you be consistent with everything you do.
And Hundley, the fake, the keep, he's heading to the 10, the 5, and ties into the end zone.
Does it occur to you that somewhere out in America, there are young African-American males who are playing football and want to play quarterback and are maybe still fighting a little bit of that, play a skill position, and they see you on their television and they think he can do it and so can I.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things, I think, just sort of being able to step into those shoes. I have little kids email me on Facebook and write me letters, and it's all, I try to mentor as many kids as I can and just talk to them. I'm mentoring this one kid named EJ, and just helping him go out through his process. He's tall, he's African American, he's big, he can move around fast, but there's a lot of things that you have to go through more. Maybe not now per se, but just being able to sit back in the pocket. And, our tendency, just to be able to take off running. But sometimes you have to get to the point where you can just sit back in the pocket, relax, and you have to be able to get taught those things.
Mm-hmm. I'm sitting here talking to you, and again talking to your dad yesterday. You're very poised, and you have a very acute awareness of all of the responsibilities of how you carry yourself to your school, to your family, to your faith, maybe to your race. And then you see somebody like Johnny Manziel, who seems to be operating in a different universe. Heck of a player.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Heck of a player.
Retreats. Look at this. He's still on his feet and heaves it deep. Can you say magic?
Is there a part of you that says, man, I just wish I could cut loose like that and not care? Or is there a part of you that wishes you could almost sit next to him and put your arm around him and say, dude, let's bring this back down to earth here?
To be honest, I'm gonna keep it real. There's a small part that, wants to say, screw everything and take off and run wild. And, sometimes, I'll sit back and I'll think about, just what happened if it did. But at the end of the day, I live a truly balanced lifestyle. So, I'll go out and have some fun, but it's not to the point where, if people are taking pictures of me, I'm gonna be on CNN. I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna go to parties, I'm gonna dance. And, we just had Bruin Bash. We saw E40 and Tiger out on stage, and I was out there partying, having a good time with everybody. But I think it does come into, that's another reason, keeping your circle small and compact. You gotta know who's around you. So, I'll be myself, after, when, I can take off everything and get back to the room and kick back and relax, I'll sit back and have a conversation and go out, with the boys and stuff like that. We'll go out, party, have some fun and stuff. But at the end of the day, as long as I'm around my circle, I know that, I can do what I want and have some fun out there. But it's when you're putting yourself out there and people that you're not familiar with are around. And, that's when you start seeing people take out pictures and it's like, oh, that's Brett Hundley. Let me take a picture of that real quick. Or that's Johnny Manziel. Let me get some video of that. And I think that's when you start, seeing yourself on CNN and all those things for the wrong reasons. So, you just have to know who you're around and sort of go from there.
I know that you and your family have been through some adversity with respect to your sister, Paris, who has epilepsy, and I guess she became symptomatic maybe later in her life. In fact, I think you were there for her first grand mal seizure. That must have been awful.
It was pretty bad. It's unexplainable, man. I mean, something you can never explain. So.
How has that shaped who you are?
Huge. I talk to my sister every day. I was just texting her actually. But just to see what kind of woman she is and sort of understand that what I do is for a reason. It's not just to play football, but I understand that this game is bigger than what most people think. This game is more than just stepping on that field. It's to honor people, you're playing for more than just yourself, pretty much.